Hi everyone, welcome back. In previous video, we talked about callbacks, promises, and async wait. We didn't talk, so I'm going to cover async and await in this demo. So, as callbacks and promises are introduced, and also the async and await uh, is added to the JavaScript to solve the. It's not a solving a problem, but it's a more elegant way of writing the code. As you know, callbacks were very hard to read. If you have like a bunch of callbacks with callback within callback and again another callback, so it's going to be a callback hell. So and we know that's very hard to read, and that's why promises were introduced, and later on, promise also having little more complicated to read syntax wise, and that's why after 2 years, I think these callbacks and promises are introduced in 2015, especially like the promises, and later after 2 years, I think in 2016 or 17, so the async and await syntax came into the use, and so essentially like the async and await uses uh, the the promises behind the scenes, but as a developer, it's easy for us to write the code, and syntax wise it looks very easy. So let's go ahead and write some code for the async and await. So I have some async and some async functions. So just the convenient thing, just name it like some async function, and this function is basically returning a promise, and within that promise we have a function callback function, and it's going to return the value is some async after 1 second, right? So basically, if you don't know I think we talked about the promise. So even if you don't know promise, this promise is a class, and it's exposing its constructor, and constructor is taking a callback, and callback has two parameters, resolve and reject, and resolve will return this value when after 1 second when this code is executed, right? So and let's see how we can make this some async call from another function, right? Okay, so the other function name is get some details, and it's basically making a call to the other async function. And if you look at here carefully, we are using two words, async and await. So basically, if you prepend this the async function with await, it's going to wait until this function is executed. And if you want to make a call to other async function, you have to use await. And when you use await, you have to wrap that function with async, and you're making a call to the async function from another function, and that function calling function has to have async for sure. Otherwise, it's going to complain. Let's do what happens. Let's say I want to make this call without async, but I want to just call this function, and what happens? So it's complaining async. It must be called. Await is only valid in async function, right? Syntax error. So await is only valid in async function. So it's only valid in async function. Let's go back and add this thing here. So this is similar to like even without, suppose you want to invoke some async function without using the async and write. How we are going to do that? Let's say before, let's comment this one, and you can also do some async function, and then you use then and then touch the callback, right? So once this is executed, you're attaching a callback. That callback I'm gonna call print some value here, right? I'm gonna print whatever is written from, let's say, then response, right? I'm gonna return that value here. Console.log response. Sorry. Okay, my terminal got closed, and let me reopen it here. And let's run this node, and the module name is async await demo.js, right? So it's also printing. So this is the other way of doing, right? So we using attaching the callbacks, we used to do this way. So the same thing we have done using the async await, right? Okay, sorry, I didn't make call, so we can make this call again and run this and see if it still works. Nope. Yeah, because I'm not printing the values of this async, so that's why it's not printing anything. But yeah, so um, just to make more understanding on this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this again. This is another. You can also use one async function in another async function like chain of async functions. So that's why I made it this one. And next thing is I'm going to make this. I'm going to call this get some details in another async function, and from there we can use all these values from this function, and this is going to find other function. So we are going to print all these return values from the chain of async and await. Okay, so I'm going to make the final um, client function. So basically this will be my final function. So this is going to call this some details here. Since this is also a sync function, get some details, so I have to use await, and I'm making call to get some details, and it's the same syntax as the previous function. Once we get the response, I'm printing the response. Since this is await, we have to use async, right? So just to demonstrate this how it works, first I will make a uh, if you understand this whole logic here, and when I call this, when I run this module, right, what is going to print? Well, definitely this will start from the, you don't see any console log before, so this is going to start with this. I will go first, and this is going to make a call to my function, and this is going to make it some details, and internally this is going to call another async function, and this is going to call this function, but this is going to take 1 second to execute. So by that time, it's going to run this one, and then it will come back to this one. So the output will be I will go first, and I will go next, and then whatever the values we get from this one. So that will be my name, right? And then after that, a is some async function. Hello, hello, hi, hello, and the value whatever is written from previous. So let's go ahead and run this one. This here will print it first. I will go first. I will go next. And hi, hello. And the response from the previous async functions is my name, and then the actual initial async value is some async function. So, and with this, it's also easy to debug, um, and also it looks much easier, right? So you can also use this way, and also you can use, if you want to handle errors, like in the callbacks or the promises we used to when you call a promise and you attach a callback, and if there is an error, you use catch error, right? So here you can use, try and catch blocks to try this one, and if there is an error here, catch, and you can also print. So yeah, try and print the errors here. I not log any errors. And I'm going to console log here. Yeah, so if there is an error, it's going to come to the catch block and it's going to print that error. So we can print that error. Right, so it still should print the same values. Right. Yeah, that's how it is, and hope this helps. And I will and let me know if you need any other topic you want to cover in coming demos. Thank you so much.